Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the 2014 National Electronic Sports Tournament quarterfinals between Vici Gaming and Newbee. It's game number 2 here in this best-of-3 series. So far, Newbee off to a hot start 1-0 on the back end of Howe's Lifestealer, which was damn impressive to watch. Thanks so much for joining us here on High Ground TV. My name is Maut. With me today is F4L. How are you, man?
I'm doing good. Hopefully, this game is a bit more exciting than the last game, which I think was... I don't want to say it was decided at the draft, but it was definitely going to be difficult for Vici to win that game based on the drafts. And they start the draft off, I would say, pretty strong, picking up the Tidehunter. I think it's one of the best offlaners in the current patch. And we are going to go pick really fast and go ahead and just pick the same 2 heroes that they started off the draft last game with.
Oh, but there's the Lycan. That's what we've been waiting for.
Well, this draft is actually going really fast.
I mean, I'm not going to complain about that, but they are picking and banning at lightning speeds. Let's see if they slow down. They're at Mach 4 right now. And Viper has banned out Razor as well as the Skywrath. There's the Puck, which I think is deserved, although that was Newbee banning it out, so they don't want to give it away to Vici. Some other bans coming through as well, but the Lycan pickup, like we talked about earlier today, we didn't see it that often, but you thought it was going to make a resurgence, and I think that's absolutely correct. And we'll see it here for Vici Gaming yet again.
Yep, they're going to go ahead and pick up the Lycan and the Tidehunter, so they're going to secure themselves a really strong team fight with the Tidehunter, and then Lycan pretty much gives you decent lane security because you're going to have the Howe for all of the lanes. It's sort of like a Dro, but then instead of a Dro, you have a Lycan. So it's always nice because Dro is not really the best hero. Like, it's like by itself. And Lycan is definitely still a strong hero in the late game once he gets those items up.
He's a driving force behind just taking down tower after tower, fighting well. I mean, he's slippery as almost any hero if he can get his ultimate off. That's the difficulty, is really... Yeah. I mean, eventually you build up to where you're tanky enough so that you can withstand somebody just trying to take you down through your ultimate going through. Or you get a BKB or something along those lines, which... I think actually you could get away with not having a BKB as a Lycan before this patch, before they changed it, but now it feels like you don't necessarily need a BKB, but it's built a lot more, I think.
Yeah, I definitely think you need a BKB unless you're not. And they're going to go ahead and... Newbee are going to ban out the Puck and the Ember Spirit, while Vici ban the Viper and the Sand King. They don't want to give Sand King to Newbee on the Radiant side, which is a smart idea. Banning out the Viper because it's pretty good against Lycan, and just an overall annoying pick. I'm a bit surprised, although I know that Vici like to run the Ember. Honestly, I'm just not sold on Ember as a hero. I know that everyone thinks Ember is so good, but how often does this hero actually win? And how often is it the driving force in that victory? And I always, when I look at champions, or sorry, heroes, the chat's about to just flame me because I call it champions. You made a mistake. Oh, well, whatever. No, I just don't think that, like, Ember is the best, just because it's just so easy to lock him down, and he doesn't actually, I don't know. I think a lot of teams don't actually like picking Ember that much because he can't end the game. So this hero, even if he gets ahead, he has a really hard time ending the game because he's not really the greatest at sieging. He doesn't really have good building hitting potential, and I don't know, you're just sort of banking on his 2 high points, which are the early game and then the extreme late game. So
the thing is, I sort of agree with you. I think the hero's paper thin. He's susceptible to dying early on in the game, and he doesn't really win a lane that well, but the guy's banned out. I think he's good in certain situations. He's got good ganking potential, and, well, Nature's Prophet Vengeful picked up for Vici Gaming, and I was going to ask when we were going to see another Vengeful Spirit again. We're going to find it, but Newbee pick up the Earthshaker and the Faceless Void.
Yeah, it's to counter the Faceless Void pick. And the Faceless Void, so they're going to combo it with the Ancient Apparition, definitely a solid combo there, but not the greatest synergy with the Brewmaster because you have these 2 big teamfight ults, but they don't really synergize together like you would normally see. And then they're going to go ahead and pick up the Earthshaker. Good roaming support, offers a lot of defensive capabilities as well as controlling the mid lane fairly well. And Vici are going to go with the Nature's Prophet, a hero that has sort of fallen out of favor in recent times. I mean, a lot of teams are just sort of ignoring this hero. it's just not as effective as it once was.
This was their jam back at TI4, and maybe even before that as well. I mean, throw it in the safe lane, boom,
Yeah.
Siler gets farm, you're good
I mean,
to
we
go.
could see the same thing this game. I could definitely see them running the safe lane Nature's Prophet,
Yeah.
but I think for this particular game, we'll see the safe lane Tidehunter, mostly because I think they really want to get this Tidehunter rolling so he can have the early Blink Dagger, early Mechanism, and then they can just 5-man, because they have a pretty typical Vici draft where they just get their core items and then they just walk down lanes as 5.
It's been what they've been known for, again, since about TI4 and even before that as well. They've kind of come into their own. Even with different players now on their roster, they still are comfortable with this type of play style. They can play for the late game if they absolutely need to, but, put Ice maybe on the Tidehunter. We'll see. Maybe I don't know who's going to be on the Lycan. Could be Black, could be Super. We'll see. But one thing is for sure, FY and Fenrir are probably going to have a better game. I don't know if you can get. That's actually a big pick too. Beastmaster. Oh man, this is a blast from the past. I'll tell you what.
Oh, Beastmaster. Is this going to be it's going to be a support
Beastmaster.
Beastmaster.
Beastmaster. That's huge.
So taking a page out of Cloud9's book.
I'm not sure how I feel about this.
Gyrocopter last pick for Newbee, so they're going to go with these. I mean, Gyrocopter and Void, that's huge AoE teamfight. I mean, you're going to have the huge damage from Gyrocopter and the huge disable from the Faceless Void. I've seen this combination a couple times, and when it works, it is devastating. So really...
I mean, it's going to get Hal farmed, too, if they can get kills with this.
Yeah.
He's going to get out of control again, and that's something you need to avoid. If there's anybody that can make a Beastmaster work in a support role, I feel like it has to be FY.
10 seconds.
I have... This guy is so good. I mean, he's got to make this work. But at the same time, he had a rough game last game. I don't think it'd get any worse for Vici Gaming in terms of what happened for FY and Fenrir. I mean, they just got obliterated. And they go the opposite direction. They get a bit tankier with their supports, which I'm totally fine with. So we'll see how this goes. Again, this could be the last game for Vici Gaming if they go down here. Newbee, they've got a 1-0 advantage at a best-of-3 series. Now, remember, this is single elimination in the quarterfinals.
You know, it might actually be a Jungle Furion.
I'm not sure.
He has 2 clarities.
He's ready to go, I suppose. No boots, so he would be in the offlane with boots of speed first, but they send the Tidehunter bottom, so Ice is going to play in the offlane, so we're going to hold that. We're going to check and see what the rosters are for both squads. So for Vici Gaming, some introductions. Ice on the Tidehunter down bottom. Mid lane, Black on your Lycan. Back in the, of course, it's going to be Super playing your Nature's Prophet. Top lane currently, it is going to be Fenrir on your Vengeful Spirit. And safe lane potentially farming Beastmaster FY. We'll see how it goes for Vici Gaming.
And then on the side of Newbee, we have Hao playing the safe lane Gyrocopter. Banana supporting him in the safe lane on his Ancient Apparition. Moo playing the Brewmaster in the mid lane. Sanshang going to be playing the Roaming Earthshaker. And Rabbit on the offlane Faceless Void.
So, Fenrir wants this rune. Magic Missile's going to go. He's going to pick the Invis. Nice timing from Fenrir. I mean, he has to waste some mana there, but...
Yeah. And Newbee off to a good start. They're able to deny Vici's ward, which was placed up here. And it looks like ISSS is going to do some offlane shenanigans. He's going to try to tank the aggro and then draw the creeps back.
He's going to take a Rocket Barrage sort of to the face, and he will cut the creep wave back towards his lane, and it looks like he's going to get it done. He's going to have to go all the way around, it looks like.
I think he wants to get the second wave as well. I'm not entirely sure.
In the meantime, he blocked this camp and this camp. So that's pretty impressive. Blocking 2 camps with just his body.
Oh, so he went to the magic bush. Okay.
Yeah, he walked right towards it when their spawn was coming in. That's a nice play. Banana's going to walk right into him. There is no anti smash. He has Kraken Shell. I don't think he goes down. Plus, Hal is working on Banana. Banana's getting right-clicked. He's getting hammered by whatever this thing that he's got. What is this thing? What's a cudgel? The genuine conch cudgel. Oh, it's a conch. Okay.
Oh, what is that?
It's a cudgel.
I've never seen that before.
It's great. It looks awesome.
It actually looks really cool.
Off with you.
So, I mean, he'll be okay. I mean, he gets a little bit of a cheeky play, like you mentioned, but good start. And
it is going to be Super playing the Jungle Furion and FY on the solo safe lane Beastmaster.
Yeah, Rabbit's not getting harassed. This is the issue, I think, is that I don't know if they have kill potential between FY and Fenrir, But FY playing a core role, we know how good he could be in mid. How good can he be in the safe lane on a B smash is the real question.
Well, I think he's going to end up being more of a supporting role. And as far as like the mid-game farm positions, he's going to be towards the end as far as the cores go.
Yeah.
But they want to get him these early levels. And honestly, if Newbee aren't going to punish this greed, why not?
I mean, they aren't really rotating any heroes up. Rabbit is being aggressive towards Fenrir here, but Rabbit really, he could try to dive that. It's just not going to happen. Fenrir's not low enough for him to secure that kill. And yeah, I mean, I agree with you because they're going to give the farm priority to not only Super. Meanwhile, he's TPing on Banana, and Ice has double damage rate. He's going to right-click. Look at the body blocks from Super. Again, body blocks coming up from Vici Gaming, and Banana will fall. First blood easily turned by Super. Kill secured as he laughs at Ice as he picks up the last right-click there, and he gets his boots as well. Nice play coming out from Vici.
They're really well played and coordinated. And so now he's going to go into the enemy jungle, try to mess with the pulls. And honestly, this, I mean, so far, this jungle Furion is definitely paying off for them. He doesn't really have to worry about TPing out of his lane because, I mean, he doesn't have a lane.
He's good to go, man. He can just be anywhere, and that's the beautiful thing about a Nature's Prophet. You got to be involved if you're going to do that kind of build. Ice. He did get Rocket Barrage, but he will stay alive with Gush. That saves his life. FY's coming in. He actually has the Boar, which slows Rabbit, although he will have his Time Walk available again. So FY's just harassing him down. And
this Boar is actually so annoying to deal with as a melee hero.
Yeah. I mean, you can't get close to the creep wave.
Yep.
Otherwise, you're just done. Black has to actually head back towards the creep wave. Looks like his bottle is coming out. He's had kind of a rough time here. 9 last hits to the 20. Again, I mean, this time it's Mu, though, dishing out the pain instead of Rabbit for Newbee, so.
Yep. So Black having a rough time in the mid lane in both of these games. But he did recover nicely in the previous game. He got his items up quickly, and I think he played probably the best game out of anyone on the side of Vici last game.
Yeah,
so
I agree, yeah.
I expect him to do well in this game as well.
They're just going to harass Rabbit again in the top lane. He's only got 2 tangos left. Roar's not there. Magic Pistol's going to fly. They don't have enough damage. Axes do a lot, but I think he backtracked the second hit of the Axes.
Yeah,
and even if he didn't, it's fine.
Yep. But he only has 2 tangos left. He's going to use one of them, and he's running out of regen really quickly.
I like what they've done. They've rotated super mid, and they're going to have Black in the jungle.
Black in the jungle.
Yeah, he's going to farm and maybe get his early Vlad, so, I mean...
This is actually... I'm sure they've, like, practiced this and planned this, but it's actually a really interesting strategy that they've employed this game. So they have the Furion start in the jungle, which allows FY... And they're going to make it go on Rabbit. He might fall here. He's got 63 HP.
TP from Super, that'll secure the kill.
Yeah.
And that's just that's the devastating thing about an Nature's Prophet. He'll be around the map, and even if you think you're safe, you're just... I mean, you fall. He's a little too far up, and they get the kill. Vici Gaming, they're off to a hot start, 2-0, but at the same time, Gyrocopter's farming freely for How down bottom. We saw how much trouble he can make in some of these games with his carry position. It's kind of sketchy because Ice is also maybe going to get Fisher blocked by San Shang. Homing Missile's going to fly, potentially. Uh-oh. Look out, buddy.
What level is his Homing Missile? It's level 1, okay.
What is that build, by the way? You keep talking about the Homing Missile build. I want to...
What's the Homing Missile build?
I mean, because you've said it before. Is it like an actual build, or is it just skilling 1 into Homing Missile?
I was just wondering what level. I said what level is his Homing Missile, but
Ice is getting caught out. Rocket Barrage is going to go, and that's going to be an easy kill for San Shang from the Fisher coming in.
Oh, I've seen a lot of actually builds recently. I've seen like 2 into Homing Missile, but that's in the mid lane usually. So
mid Gyro. That's something I haven't seen in a long time, actually. But
a few Western teams have been running it. I know C9 did it a couple times, and
see, that doesn't surprise me. It's like it's almost every time with like a weird draft in the West. It's like, yeah, it's C9. Yeah. But that's what makes them so interesting and such a fun team to watch. And even EG in their own right are coming into some decent drafts. So
yeah, I really like what Vici did though with this draft. It was definitely planned. They wanted Furion to start in the jungle to allow FY to get at his early levels in the top lane as sort of this pseudo support Beastmaster, and then they rotated Furion into the mid lane and allowed Lycan to get his early farms from the mid lane so that he could transition into the jungle. A really smart draft and plan coming out from Vici.
I mean, FY is sitting second in CS right now, so he clearly is comfortable on this hero. He did pick up more of a utility item with the arcane boots. Rabbit is sitting right next to Fenrir. They seem to just know that each other are there, but they don't seem to really mind or care.
Super kind of having trouble in the mid lane, though, because of the experience disadvantage.
Level 5 to Moose. Level 7.
They do have the roar.
They're going to go top, TP coming in, and they won't be able to kill him. Rabbit, I think, time walked away, and I think FY maybe used the Primal Roar animation, but it didn't go. I didn't actually see. Either way, he's fine in that top lane. Rabbit's going to back away. Ice is trying to reach level 6. He's not quite there yet. Rabbit is sitting at level 5, so they're both about even in experience, so he can't really get towards his Chronosphere yet, but he's close to it. I want to see if Black can get back into this game, though. He has just been sitting in the jungle for the longest time right now. He's got 34 CS. A lot of that is neutral CS, though.
I think they're fine with this because they're getting more out of the map than Newbee are. They're farming the mid lane, the safe lane, and the off lane, although currently the mid lane is unoccupied as Super decides to go farm the enemy jungle.
He put a ward down in the magic bush. They really want to make sure that they're not stacking for this gyrocopter, I think. And just taking camps for him, and that's really important to stopping House Farm.
And How, sitting at 40 CS, he is the third leader in CS. And wow, Moo is sitting at 50 CS in this mid lane. Although, to be fair, he hasn't had much contest as they've been switching heroes in and out of mid lane.
Yeah. I'm surprised. I mean, he's going to have a pretty early Blink Dagger. They will grab a kill, I think. Maybe on Super. Gets caught way out of position. Banana with the cold feet. Fisher did come through, and they gave a kill. And that's just Super caught out and not really in the best spot. He just falls easily. So, Vici Gaming now down one more hero. And maybe some pressure top coming in from Fenrir and everyone.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Looks like he's going to use the board to drag the creeps away, and then they're going to start pressuring this tower. They would probably like to have Furion alive, although he is alive now. He's probably going to TP in and summon Treants.
Secure the tower. Creep Wave's about to die. Try to pull it again. The Creep Wave is coming back, by the way. Or at least
maybe they're afraid of a rotation.
They also maybe are afraid of Chronosphere, which isn't up yet, but with one or two creeps, it's going to be there. In fact, one creep is going to secure them Chronosphere for Rabbit. Moo's going to have a very early Blink Dagger. Had he had some kills, or maybe even like First Blood, he would be at his Blink Dagger already, but it's still really well timed for Moo. And Black is nowhere near on the same level, although again, 51 CS, but a lot of that is jungle creep, so that's the issue.
And if we look at the CS, so Panda and Gyro sitting at the top, then we have Beastmaster and Lycan trailing close behind, and then there's a large gap between them and then the Furion and the Tidehunter. So even though they've been sort of efficient with their map usage, Super is actually fairly poor if he didn't have these two kills. Only sitting at the 20 CS.
I mean, yeah, and you can see it on the net worth chart as well. Bottom lane, Ice getting caught out. Fisher, there's the Cold Feet as well. Ravage is going to get popped. I don't know if that's going to save him. Cold Feet does proc. Now the call down going. He's not going to be able to avoid this, and he will take a spill. The right click coming in, and that's just 4 heroes coming in, easily securing a kill. And they didn't even pop Chronosphere for that. But this might mean that the tower top is going to fall.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
That top should go down here. And I'm kind of concerned for Vici because they've got all this farm on Beastmaster, but you just have to make sure that it pays off for you. Well, I mean, he's gonna go. Yeah, he has the 10-minute mech mana boots. So they really need FY to start making plays around the map so that it pays for giving him the one position farm early game.
I think he's going to start rotating soon. I mean, that was all he really needed in terms of farm, was that mech. He hasn't got it yet. He hasn't purchased up the recipe, but he has enough money for it. He does pick it up now. He's also going to pick up a smoke, and so often we see with timings with like a Bat Rider and a Blink Dagger, you see a Smoke of Deceit come out as soon as they get their first big item. It's going to happen for FY. Now, what does he make happen with this is the real question. I don't know if they can burst down the Brewmaster, because, I mean, Primal Split is great, but he will be able to, or rather, Primal Roar. There's 2 Primals in this game. That's unfortunate, but Split will be able to get off, I think, after Roar is used. I imagine he's tanky enough that he'll survive that. Plus, he now has a Blink Dagger as well.
So it looks like they're going to smoke up FY and Fenrir, rotate to the bottom lane. They really want to get a kill on How, but How playing very intelligently just backs off.
Well, everyone's off the map.
Yeah, everyone's off the map right now.
At this point, he understands completely that he's probably getting ganked.
And he's retreating all the way to the tier 2.
Very safe coming out. And VG don't find anybody in the jungle. They will have the Scout Hawk, giving some extra vision to them. So they're not doing too poorly. He actually has no points in the Inner Beast either, so no attack speed coming out. But they actually have the Aura strat if they ever do get the Inner Beast. They have Fenrir with the Vengeance Aura. You have the Inner Beast coming out from FY, and Howl's pretty good as well. So.
And Black does pick up his Vladimir's, and he's got 1,300 gold on top of that.
And he's got the most CS in the game. All of a sudden, he's back in it. Not that he was ever out of it. Uh-oh. Rabbit gonna get spotted out, and now Ice in some trouble. Chronosphere is gonna go. Swap might go in, and it will. Fenrir now is gonna get in trouble here. He's gonna get splitted on as well. Sansheng getting roared up. The call down does go. The Cyclone up. That'll be up under the Tidehunter. Super running it as well. Ravage is going to be up in a couple of seconds. They have it now, actually. They're about to go, though. Ravage is going to get popped. It only hits on a couple. In fact, only on two. Sansheng getting right-click down. There's the Fissure. Blocking one, but now Black. Who's he going to go for? He's just trying to find Rabbit. He does have his Howl ready to go. Rabbit's got a time walk away, and they won't be able to secure a kill off the back end of this. And actually, Sansheng does go down, but still, Vici get very little off the back end of the fight. However, they make sure Chronosphere is used, and they make sure that Call Down as well as Split is used on top of it.
Yeah. So they trade 1-for-1, all ultimates used, and Vici are gonna go for a Roche play.
Middle tower is under attack.
It's like, yeah, this is just typical Lycan. I mean, you know that all the ultimates are down.
I'm pretty sure they're gonna get it.
Yeah, the Wave of Terror makes it a little bit easier. Ice is hiding, and he's gonna TP away from Moose. Smart play there. How's gonna send a homing missile, I believe, to a Scout Hawk. I'm not sure what that does exactly. They know that they're in the Roche, but they should at least.
They have no idea.
Really, Moog can't even. He just backs away. He could have jumped in, but again, he didn't have a split. That might have been dangerous. And all right, well, Roshan, that's going to give Vici Gaming maybe the edge here, as they have 2,000 net worth advantage going their way and 1,500 experience.
Yeah, but you also have to consider who that golden experience is on, and most of it is concentrated on the Beastmaster right now. And I'm just not sold on if it's going to pay off for them. I think, you know, this Lycan is...
Oh, what an echo. Black in some trouble. Ancient Apparition Ice Blast. He will go down. Immediately the Aegis is used, and he doesn't have Shapeshift. They're going to try to body block with these wolves, or rather with the Treants, but Black is going to run away. So Aegis is expended. Banana's taking a lot of right-click. Hal came through and did some work, but... Smoke of Deceit. I think he knew we have to back away immediately. This could be a fight that they don't want to take. Banana's going to get caught out. They didn't need to roar. They magic missile, and that was a bit too much. And I don't know. I mean, I guess it's worth it. It kills a kill, but...
Yeah. And it looks like Tidehunter is going to be pressuring this bottom lane. They're either going to force a rotation down here, or... Yeah, they're just going to get this tower, I think. And Newbee can't defend.
I think Ice might be going for a Force Staff. I've seen this before. He is throwing a regen. And he has enough. They don't need the mech. FY is getting it.
It could just be a casual ring of regen. I've seen this a couple times on Tide. If you're struggling in your lane a little bit just on sustain, you can just go ahead and buy the ring of regen with your arcane boots, because you're going to most likely end up getting a Force Staff after the Blink Dagger anyways, or the mech, so...
It works out. I like that choice. It's not that much money either. 350 into the bank is really not that big of a deal. They will take the tier 1 tower bottom. They take the tier 1 tower top. And now Newbee are getting out pressured. Sansheng hasn't really come into his own yet. He did use that Echo Slam to waste the Aegis. Meanwhile, How getting caught out. I think they roared him as well. Wave of Terror going. The right click should be enough. It will be. Now the Ravage coming in onto Moo. He has the split. He's going to pop it. Now the Chronosphere is going to be onto 2. They will mech up, and Rabbit doesn't have the damage. The Sprout coming in as well. FY will fall finally, but Rabbit getting low. No time walk away, but the Cyclone up is saving his life. Now Fenrir going to work, and Sansheng is done. How misses on the call down, it looks like. They will try to take down Ice. He's stunned up. Using the boulder toss, he's going to run right into the tower. There's the clap, 2-for-1 exchange. All the meanwhile, Black is split pushing mid lane. He will take the tower down, plus 2.5k gold in the bank for him. And an okay fight coming out from Vici despite losing 2 there.
I think that was actually a really good fight coming out for Vici. They traded 2-for-1. They didn't lose, I would say, their 2 important cores going into the mid and late game, the Lycan and the Furion. And the Lycan was able to split push the mid tower down. And all the ults were traded pretty evenly. So, in the end, I think a win for Vici. And honestly, had FY not expended the roar in the mid lane, How would have gone down much faster, and that fight could have been completely different. I also believe there was a buyback by Hao in that fight, so
He bought
definitely
back
a win
in it.
for Vici.
He bought back, threw up his call down, and he only secured like a kill or two off the back end of it. So, Ice has more than enough money to buy his Blink Dagger now, which I imagine. Yep, there it is. So, I think that's been an issue. Is Ice getting off good Ravages this game, and now that he has this is gonna become quickly difficult for Newbee to deal with. And
The last Ravage was quite good.
yes, that's true. The first
But
couple, not so much.
the one before that wasn't so good. It's actually really hard when when you're playing against a team of the quality of Newbee, they're not just gonna let you walk up and Ravage. So
Again, this is LAN finals. This is something that is a bit of an X factor. We haven't touched on it as much, but it's LAN. I mean, this is
the LAN.
That's really where the X factor comes from. It's just a bit more hype, I suppose.
although it is a smaller LAN event, I believe. What's the price pool is like 30,000, I think, for first.
I think it might be 60,000 or
60?
30 for first, but 60 in total.
Okay. Which is still a pretty good prize pool, and it was an open qualifier. So all of the teams playing here had to go through the same qualifier.
And there were some teams that were up and coming. They certainly played as well as they could. They were on the other side of the bracket, but this is really the interesting matchup. And I think it was seeded randomly. And you have to understand that this tournament is run by the government of Chinese, so of China rather. So I think that's why it's a bit different. You know, the two best teams of the same side of the bracket playing against each other in a single elimination, best of three. So kind of interesting. It makes for a more interesting later end of the tournament. But
so it looks like we'll have a bottom tier 2 being traded for the top tier 1. As no team looks to defend either of these towers. Although, Hao does TP to the bottom lane.
Fisher comes through. Hao could fight.
It looks like they're going to be able to defend bottom.
Yeah. They will take the tier 1 top. That did take them a period of time, but now they can TP back if they want to. Or Black can split push mid.
Yeah, Black does have the book too.
Yeah. That's a pretty big item. Yeah, obviously, you'd like to have book 3, but Homing Missile's going to fly out there, ready to fight, but Ice has his Blink Dagger.
And he is actually leveling it. So it's a level 3 Homing Missile currently. And honestly, Homing Missile is very obnoxious to deal with.
That's a good way of putting it. I think obnoxious is the right terminology for that spell. It's just a dumb spell. I mean,
it does. If he gets max level, it does 500 damage.
Blank Ravage comes in onto Hao, coming through. Banana in trouble as well, but BKB, he gets rid of the Magic Missile. Roar, keeping him in place right now. Call down. Black Cannon damage is not there. Ice, expending a lot, and he will fall. They force out a BKB. They don't get any kills. They're putting the tower into deny range? No, actually, it's 7 HP away from deny range, luckily enough. Black puts pressure on mid. The split push is real.
They weren't able to chain their spells very well there on top of the Ravage, and Hao was able to get the BKB off, which pretty much secured them, you know, make sure that they didn't lose that team fight. I think had they been able to chain spells onto Hao, they might have been able to bring him down and then secure the tower kill.
I think I think Ice just went in. They're like, oh, I guess you went already, huh? So they tried to get the Magic Missile, but Venge wasn't fast enough to get in there. She's gonna rectify that by buying Phase Boots, which is interesting. TP towards mid. Ice coming in. He doesn't have Ravage. There's no BKB either. Mood jumps in. He's got split. They've got Chronosphere, I believe. Swap coming out. Fenrir. They chrono up Ice. Rabbit with the plays, knowing that he was gonna be swapped into that position. And Chrono's up Ice. Whether intentional or not, it looked intentional to me.
It looks like they're going to go for the double book as FY picks up his book 1. So I think they're going to have this timing window when they have 2 book 3s, and it's going to be very difficult for Newbee to fight into them.
Roar coming into Hao. BKB is ready to go, and he might pop it here. Now the Lycan coming in the right click. They have no real way of bringing him down. The Fisher comes in. It does not block Black, but I mean, he's going to go to Banana, and he's going to pop the Hal. The Wolves will chase him down and probably kill him, and now he'll turn his attention to Rabbit. Rabbit's going to take a spill. Maybe he time walks away, and actually Black's ult is now down. There's going to be a sprout onto Sansheng. He's in trouble. Buyback coming up from the Ancient Apparition. Ice Blast might come in. There's the split as well. Swap out onto Black. No ult available, but Fenrir might die again, but he's a martyr. Double kill coming in. They actually get How with the usage of the Necro Books coming in. Fenrir getting low. The Cold Feet not dead yet. There's the Gush coming in, but the Boulder Toss will get the kill on poor Fenrir. Now they chase down that poor Ancient Apparition with a dieback coming in. Yeah, it's too many of them. Double kill for Super coming in with his right click, with his Treants, with his... Actually doesn't have the Orchid yet, but he's close to it. But great fight for Vici Gaming.
And they were able to get 4 kills for 2, I believe, because... no, for 3. Because Tide and Venge went down once, and then Venge went down a second time. It was just a really long, extended fight. So, good fight for them. I think they're going to get this tier 2 mid tower, and once they get these 2 book 3s, I mean, they're going to feel really confident about going high ground, I think.
I mean, they're pretty close. Black actually has enough money for his, and he didn't get it in that last fight, but he will have it soon. And FY has only a book 1, so he's...
I mean, if How is able to build up a damage item, or maybe even purchase up a Demon Edge, he might be able to BKB and then flat cannon down both of the books, so that is something to look out for.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden those items just become useless. Although Black doesn't need the book to do a ridiculous amount of damage. I mean, it helps him getting multiple kills across the map, but it's actually just disgusting because it's not only just the book, but the wolves, the treants, the boars. It's the summon strat coming out from Vici Gaming. It's something...
the Zoo strat.
Yeah, that's it. It's Zoo. It's a term you hear like in Hearthstone, but maybe not in Dota as much. Although, it's working out effectively, man. I'll tell you what. Black's 202, 2,000 gold to bank, Necro 3 done. What's his next item, though? What is his next item? Let me ask you.
On which year?
On
Lycan?
Yeah.
I think it's just a BKB.
Standard. Bland, even.
I was thinking about AC, but I think it's just going to be the BKB, so... And Newbee are going to scout this Roshan with the AA ult, so they know that it's up, and that Vici aren't doing it. And Ice is going to start working towards his Refresher Orb, as he's going to pick up the Oblivion Staff right now.
It's a good start. He actually has enough... Well, he'll buy the Oblivion Staff, but he's getting kind of close to his Perseverance as well. Rabbit built a BKB. He has no damage. This Faceless Void is pretty much just a Chronosphere and maybe a little bit of right click, but he has no attack speed. He has no Mask of Madness.
I mean, I feel like he needs this BKB because if he gets roared and then they put the book on him, he's actually just not going to be able to cast Chronosphere.
Super's about to die, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah,
he's
Super's
actually dead.
dead.
Chronosphere might come out. The Fisher, they don't need it. Super will fall. Looks like Cold Feet, proc, and he's done. But that will lead Vici Gaming into the pit. So you head up top lane for Newbee, and they get a kill, and like Vici's like, well,
they're gonna AA ult it, but it's not gonna do anything. They just kill it so fast with Venge.
Oh my god! Wave of Terror. Black going to work. Roshan is just gonna fall quickly to Vici's blades and claws. Honestly, another Aegis for Black. Let's hopefully see him have a better time with this Aegis than the last one, because
he died within 30 seconds of acquiring the first one.
It was ridiculous. He's just like, I'm gonna walk up to the high ground. Oh, I'm dead. So, How uses call down to farm in the top lane. Pretty short cooldown, but
so 800 gold left from FY to complete his book 3, and I think that's gonna signal go time for VG. His Super almost completes his BKB, so I imagine they'll wait for the BKB on Super, the Book 3 on FY, and maybe... Yeah, probably the next item for Black as well. Is he sitting at 3,600
Yeah,
gold?
he's going to have BKB pretty soon, and he's farming the enemy agents at this point, assuming he doesn't go down in the next couple moments, which, I mean, it's a possibility. Rabbit's actually... Well, the good thing is that the wolf is shadowing Rabbit, so Black is using his wolves to scout out. He was actually next to a Sentry Ward. I'm not sure if we saw that wolf or not, but... And one of my concerns for Newbee is that even if this game does go late for them, I guess they do have the Chronosphere and they have How with the right click, but I still feel like Black can do a lot of work. I think you've touched on it a lot, is that FY is probably the main issue for Vici Gaming. He'll start losing his effectiveness pretty soon.
Yeah. I think if it goes late, Newbee will definitely have an advantage. Vici will always have the threat of the split push, but the team fights will be impossible for Vici Gaming to win. There's too much control and too much AoE damage on the side of Newbee for Vici to be able to effectively team fight in the late game.
Swap in, Ravage onto Moo. He does have a BKB. Magic Missile is going to go as well. The right click, there's the Orchid, but he BKB's out of it. Nowhere near enough damage to bring him down.
But
Ravage
BKB force.
So, yeah, that's true.
Oh, they used the Ravage for BKB. And an odd choice from Ice as he picks up, I thought he was going to go towards the Oblivion Mask with the Sage's Mask and the Robe of Magi, but he opts for the Plate Mail pickup.
Ice, TP's right in front of Rabbit. He was looking for a kill. If FY was coming through, he had Roar ready to go, but I feel like this is the problem. FY could have gone for a Blink or an Ags or something in this situation and have longer extension, but
I actually would have liked to see him go one of those items, to be honest, because I'm not sure what the effectiveness of these books are going to do on multiple heroes against the Gyrocopter. Because once he picks up his first damage item on top of the BKB, he's just going to pop his BKB and flat cannon them all down in one go. So I'm not entirely sure. It does offer some good split push potential for both. I mean, if they can get like the double book split push going, then maybe you can force out the BKB usage, but
no, it's gonna be tough either way.
Yeah.
Any way you slice it, really. Newbee
and I
should
think
still be down. Anyway, sorry.
Yeah, I think the window for Vici to continue to take team fights is gonna be closing in the near future. I think they can still take team fights, but I think in 5 or 10 minutes, it's going to be very difficult for them to take a 5-on-5 engagement.
I mean, now you look at Sansheng, he picks up the Blink Dagger, and that just maybe adds to the woes. Now there's going to be a Butterfly as well. In terms of pure right-click damage, Hao doesn't necessarily have it, but that certainly helps. I mean, Black is not going to have as great of a time as, bringing down Hao. So, for me. I think Newbee are, again, they're down 7,500 net worth, but they're still probably pretty confident. As long as they don't find into the Aegis and they can deal with the split push, they'll probably be okay. Swap goes in. That'll be on Hao. He has to pop the BKB. Butterfly's paying off, but not that much. There's going to be the homing missile. Now they're going to come and they will take him down. Hao gets popped and he's dead for 60 seconds. There's the Promise Split coming out. Black going to work. Magic Missile on the Wind Panda. And they're going to go straight for the Earth Panda instead. They know that he's going to jump back into his regular form. They're trying to body block him. They do blow up the Air Panda. The Immolation. The Fire Panda still going. Banana coming in. The Axes as well. But Fisher comes through. The Black Ultimate now done. But Hao has no buyback. And I think that's the most important thing here.
Yeah, and Split was forced there. In a defensive split. And in the bottom lane, Echo Slam was used to cancel out the TP of the Nature's Prophet and go ahead and secure that kill. As Sansheng reveals that he has a Blink Dagger.
Well, really, it's going to come down to Rabbit. I mean, they do Fisher and they block most of the damage here, but Rabbit, he's going to have to get a big chrono off, I think, in order to stop this push. They will Glyph, and actually Hao's back up in 12 seconds, so they might be able to survive this, and I don't really see Vici able to do much off the back end. I don't know. This is going to be difficult. Another Drunken Haze coming in. Just such a stupid ability. The Chronosphere going in, super caught out. Swap, though, from Fenrir. It was baited all along. Black still has the Aegis. Fisher coming in. Now Ravage comes through from Ice at the right time. Moo getting low. He still does not have split up. FY roaring at someone. That it might have been Hao. Black is already dead for 55 seconds. They blow him up again. 3 dead for Vici Gaming. Newbee are turning it around. Great defense. Ice is going to fall to Fisher. Sansheng blows him up. Boom. They're going to go down mid now and take this tier 1 tower finally, it seems like.
Yeah, and that's a bit concerning if you're a Vici fan, because I think this was that was probably one of the best opportunities they were going to get this game to break the base, and they weren't successful. They were able to find Hao in a position where he didn't have buyback. They were able to kill Hao. The only thing that really didn't go well in that was that they lost Furion in the bottom lane. So Furion wasn't there for the initial siege. But
I mean, they baited the Chronosphere as well, and now they got 4,000, actually more than 4,000 gold off the back end of that fight, and they're going to get more with this tower as well. Rabbit, he didn't have farm before, now he's got 2k gold in the bank. Moo, he's going for an Assault Cross, and he should have it soon. Hao, he is Butterfly and 1,700 gold after he just purchased that up, so now he has buyback and plenty of it. Clap coming in, no, he decides against it as Ice was there. So I think Newbee with an excellent fight. They take the tier 1 tower. Again, it's very disconcerting if you're VG or a VG fan.
Yeah. And I mean, we talked about earlier how Rabbit, at one point in the game, had no damage as he was just sitting on a BKB and Treads. But now he's got BKB, Treads, Mask of Madness, and he's going to start working towards that Maelstrom or Mjolnir. He could purchase the Mjolnir if he wanted to in about 100 golds. So he's not looking too bad on damage himself. And Shanseng gets a solo kill on the Nature's Prophet with his Blink Dagger. And I mean, that's just going to be a problem all game. And when your support Earthshaker can find solo kills on a core Nature's Prophet, that is a scary thing, because now this Nature's Prophet is not going to be as confident in his split pushing.
He has a BKB too. I think it was, yeah, he used it for that engagement, for that little pick-off. I mean, Orchid and BKB, it looked like Super was getting off to a good start, but he's, you know, stagnated in his farm. Black has a BKB. He's got his book 3 now, but again, it's really going to come down, I think, split pushing for Vici Gaming just to make sure they can stay in this, because all of a sudden the graphs are steadily climbing, and what was once an almost 10,000 net worth lead for Vici Gaming is now even. It's gone. It's dissipated. Whatever you want to call it. It's vanished. So for Vici Gaming, they're going to smoke up, and this might be something that will lead into something huge. Swap in, Roar, that'll be under Rabbit. He BKBs, though. Now Moo coming in as well. Split, not used. Fenrir getting caught out. There's the Sprout, not going to help much. Clap goes in. Fenrir's about to go down. Rabbit does die. Magic Missile blows him up. He doesn't have buyback. There's the split coming in. Black is trying to go to work. How now? Manning up against Black. The team fight, the man fight. Going to work. Black getting low. He's getting right-click down. His ult still going, but there's the Ravage, and Hal will take a spill. He does have buyback, but Black does go down in the end. And now Ice. He's on the receiving end of the right-clicks. The axes come through. Banana gets low, but Sancheng and Moo are tag teaming this poor Tide Hunter, and he will fall. Triple kill for Moo. And now they're going to push down mid, and FY is the last to live for Vici Gaming. And despite losing Hal and Rabbit, Newbee, they're more than okay with that fight going their way.
And Chrono wasn't even used in that engagement. And FY might... Yeah, FY is dead.
Oh, he's dead. Oh, yeah, he just got blown up. Roar was not nearly enough.
What an Earthshaker performance by...
Sancheng has been out of he's out of his mind.
Bad this game.
And Assault Cross is done for Moo.
Dire's
So
top tower is
now
under
if you're
attack.
Newbee, I think you could just take this game kind of slowly and methodically, and maybe wait for the next Roshan. They aren't out of the woods yet by any stretch of the imagination, but they've gotten so much room just from these past 2 fights alone. And
Moo picks up his AC after that engagement.
Yep.
It's a huge item for him. They're going to negate a lot of damage coming out from the Lycan and the Furion in these team fights.
And you mentioned concerns about FY's Beastmaster.
Yeah.
How do you feel about it right now?
I mean, I don't think he's played bad. I just feel like the hero... When you give a hero that much farm, it has to contribute to like your overall team strength. And I just feel like the amount of farm and space that they gave FY, they're just not getting paid back for it right now.
No.
They're not finding a return in their investments, basically.
I think if they ended the game earlier, I think it would have been a different story, but...
Yeah.
I mean, this Beastmaster now has really not... I mean, he's got Roar, and in fact, I think he's just dead. That was a late reaction from him, too, and he just dies. FY gets brought low. Rabbit actually had a DD rune, and Maelstrom, and obviously the Mask of Madness. Roshan, Max Roche, it's about to respawn if they actually just walk into the pit again. There it is.
And it spawns right now.
The wolf is going to head in there, so Vici no, but...
So Vici no.
Newbee do not.
Looks like they're just going to backdoor this tier 1 tower.
Dire's
It's going to get
structures
clipped.
are fortified.
And they will take the tower down.
And Hao picks up his Helm of Dominator, so he's going for the classic Butterfly into Satanic
Dire's
build.
bottom tower is
And, man, he's going to be unkillable once he gets to this Satanic.
You saw the man fight between him and Black in that last team fight, and
Yeah, and he didn't have
Dire's
lifesteal
top
in that
tower
fight.
is under attack.
I mean that was the Butterfly paid off. The right click came through. Flat Cannon was blowing up his team, the
Dire's
enemy
middle
team.
tower is under attack.
Newbee are going to go straight into the pit. Wave of Tear is going to fly. They're going to throw up the Observer Ward. Fenrir is not really in a position to jump on them. BKB for Rabbit just
Roshan
defensively, just to
has
make sure
fallen to the Radiant.
that they don't get caught out of position. So now that is Newbee's first Aegis. I believe that was the second Roshan, so Cheese is now up with the Gyrocopter. And with 3.6k gold, Satanic's pretty much there. Reaver, recipe, boom, you're done. You're ready to go. You're ready to fight.
And Black realizes that he has to be able to do something against this evasion, so he starts building towards an MKB.
Still not there yet. 3,000 gold is what he needs, and he's at 871. So, Newbee, it's go time, I think.
Cheese on the Gyro and Aegis on the Void. And when we saw the last, not the most recent team fight, but the team fight before then, or was it the last one? When Newbee won when they didn't use Chrono, now even if they kill Rabbit before he uses the Chrono, he's going to be alive again, and they have to kill Hao twice. I'm just not sure that they can do it.
It's going to be a difficult test. The tier 2 tower is getting assaulted. Vici Gamer going to try to fight maybe outside of the base. Meanwhile, bottom lane, Nature's Prophet is pushing in. They'll look to take a tier 3 there, or at least put pressure on it. They will TP down, though. So Sancheng's already on Nature's Prophet duty. And Newbee playing just... They play passively here, but they have the Satanic now. And they don't need to force anything. This is just going to be smart play from them. There's no reason for them to try to force anything at this point, at least until the Aegis is almost up. I think that's when you go. Try to fight. Get as much farm as you can until that point. Maybe even some extra tier 2 towers, because you still have the tier 2 bottom and the tier 2 top. So even if you win a team fight, you might only get one set of racks out of it. They will get the raiding courier, though. Super gets it on the way back from getting the Satanic Gyrocopter.
Yep. So nice courier pickoff from him, but I mean, even if you look at Super's farm, his item progression has really stagnated. He had the Orchid relatively quickly, and the BKB followed quickly after that, but in the last 10 minutes, he hasn't really gotten any new items.
He's had nothing going his way.
I mean, it's just so hard to play Furion in this game. I mean, they have the Earthshaker with the Blink Dagger, Void is constantly a threat, and you have the AA Global coming out.
Swap, Moo in some trouble now. Chrono is going to go, and Moo will stay alive. Fenrir is going to get blown up. Now the Ravage goes. Moo not dead yet. He cannot get the split off. He has to buy back immediately. Now the Aegis is going to go. 2 down already for Vici Gaming, however. How jumping in. We will see Black go to work. Time walk away. Black, I think he got stunned up by a Time Lock or a homing missile. I'm not sure. He has a haste rune. Now he's actually out of the shapeshift. It wasn't a haste. I think it was just actually his ultimate coming in. Meanwhile, Ice blinks away. He does pick up the Refresher Orb, so they have Ravage if they decide to push to the high ground. Split was not used. Walking towards them is actually Moo, who's ready to go yet again.
Oh, so Moo buys back. Yeah, and they're probably just going to get a Rax off of this. They don't have a Chrono, but they do still have the Split and the Cheese on the Gyrocopter.
He's got more than enough farm, and they have the BKB as well on the Gyro. Moo did pop the BKB, I believe. No, he actually didn't.
No, he got swapped into
Roar. He's going to jump on Ice. Tier 2 tower is still bottom and still top as well, so it's just a set of racks right now. They have to back away from this. How's going to get sprouted? He doesn't seem to mind. Black In's ready if he wants to use it, but I don't think he will. They're just going to back away and maybe rotate bottom or top or another tower. So,
yeah. Yeah, the swap into Roar is actually quite strong. I think if you time it correctly, you have very, very little time to react. It's almost as good as the swap into Hex.
Lane clap coming in. Black getting caught out. Shapeshift is available. He's going to pop his BKB first, but there's the Chronosphere coming in. He was trying to shapeshift. Fenrir coming in, saving his life. The AA ult. Rabbit going through as well. Will it hit? Black walks back into it. How unfortunate. He will have buyback. Big Echo coming in. Ravage from Ice. Trying to stop the pressure. Moo cannot get his split off for his life, and he actually gets mana burned as well for good measure. Satanic is popped for Hao. BKB out for Black as he bought back. And they're just trying to force this tier 4 tower down. Super TP's in. Hao has no more BKB to go. Black shapeshift about to end, however. Fisher coming in to try to stop any sort of aggression. FY's back. Roar not available. Team fight over.
Man, Moo just can't get off his split in these team fights. In the previous team fight, he got swapped into Roar, and in that team fight, he got the books put on him, and then he just didn't have enough mana to cast Split.
He had his BKB on, though. I'm not sure what stopped him from using it when he had his BKB. Maybe he wanted to devote the BKB and just...
He didn't use it in that position because it would have been kind of wasted. Because Lycan popped his BKB and was running away. So if he split, they could have just ran away until the split was over, but...
Regardless, I mean...
Sort of unfortunate that he hasn't been able to use the split in the last 2 team fights.
Yeah, but that's like a first world problem at this point.
Yeah.
when you're having, you know, okay, I can't split, but we're still killing everybody. I think it's fine. Nature's Prophet finally does get the Orchid. So Super, we talk about his stagnation with his items. He had 2 items, and he was stuck there for about 25 minutes. Now he has his Scythe Device, so he's got something to work with. Cheese was dropped, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, now they can do the Venge swap into Hex, which is actually a really strong combination. It's instant, you cannot BKB through it, so that is something that they might look to get themselves back in the game. Maybe they can swap Hex How and burst him down. I mean, he still has buybacks, so it won't necessarily win them the game, but it could extend the game.
He's got plenty of money. Maybe an MKB's picked up next as well. You can go for a Daedalus if he really wants to. But at this point, they have enough of an advantage where they just need to take down the rest of the tier 2s and then get a set of racks and go from there. And they could even wait for another Roshan.
It looks like they're not waiting.
They want to fight. They're this far ahead where I don't think they need to wait for anything. Tidehunter has Ravage up in 18. It's actually Refresher Ravage up in 18. But that's... Is that going to be enough? This could be it for Vici. If they lose this fight, they're probably done. They have no real buybacks. In fact, they have
8
none.
seconds for Ravages.
They're going to try
and
to
it looks like this... Oh, a pause. But it looks like this is going to be the fight that decides the game.
Yeah. I mean,
although I would say... Yeah, if Vici even win this fight, I wouldn't say that's a game decider. But if Newbee win, I think the game's over.
Absolutely. If they even kill like 3 heroes, I think they could just go straight for the high ground. Rabbit will call good, and it's a bit of an interesting pause coming out from Rabbit, but we'll get back underway. Vici Gaming. Who's going to lead the way? Is it going to be Fenrir? Absolutely. Who will they spot out? Look at Newbee's positioning coming in, though. Fenrir. There's the swap in. Rabbit doesn't BKB. Not yet. He backtracks the stun. There's the roar coming in. He gets hexed up as well. Fisher coming through. There's the first Ravage. Rabbit about to fall and will. But look at the damage. Moo's going to work. 3 dead, 4 dead. Ultra kill for How with his right click. You can't even see half the kills because they're all across the map. Dead. Strewn across everywhere. Just blood on the ground. Fenrir is done. Rampage for How. Unbelievable. The flat cannon does more than enough damage to get a Rampage coming out. And that'll be it. Newbee moves on 2-0. Vici Gaming. A rough series for them, to be sure.
Yeah. You know, a really innovative draft and game plan coming out from Vici, but it just wasn't enough. How had extremely strong late game and AoE teamfight control, and they just weren't able to close the game out fast enough.
It was a bit of a rough game for Vici Gaming. Super, his farm stagnated. FY, we talked about the choice of having a Beastmaster in this game and how it would affect the late game. And Vici Gaming, they really needed to, like you said, close this game out, and they just couldn't do it. So any closing thoughts, F4L, before we head out of here?
No. I think it was a really good series. I was actually surprised that Newbee won, because post-TI, they haven't really looked the same, and Vici have really showed some really strong performances recently. So I was a bit surprised that Newbee were able to come on top, especially in a 2-0. I thought it would be 2-1 if Newbee were going to win. So, you know, good showing from Newbee. I think the supports actually showed up big time for me on the side of Newbee. I think they actually played better than FY and Fenrir, which is no easy task.
That's not, yeah, no, that's, we call him FY God for a reason. Fenrir is quite good in his own right, but Sunshine and Banana, I mean, this is a good duo, so excited to see what they do in the future. Of course, this was only the quarterfinals, a taste of things to come potentially for Newbee here. As they move on, they will face up against LGD, I believe, in tomorrow's semifinals. That'll start at 11 with, I believe, LV Gaming versus Tong Fu right here on High Ground TV. Make sure you check it out at twitch.tv/highgroundtv. You can check us out on Twitter as well, twitter.com/highgroundtv. My name is Maut. Find me at twitter.com/MautDota. And with me is F4L. You can check him out at twitter.com/F4LDota. We're going to get out of here, guys. Have a fantastic evening. We'll see y'all tomorrow.